Good afternoon to one and all. Today we are going to learn a new topic, dynamic programming. What is dynamic programming? We will see. The concept deals with the decision variables which change or which are dynamic in nature, and reasons could be n number of reasons. So when the values of decision variables change, that is a dynamic condition is experienced, the method of analysis used for optimizing any given variable is known as dynamic programming. Dynamic programming is a mathematical technique dealing with the optimization of multiple stage decision making problem. The technique was developed or introduced by Richard Bellman. We are going to also see what is the principle behind this particular method, also known as Bellman's principle of optimality. In this method, the original problem is broken down into multiple parts or multiple sub-problems, which are known as stages and which can be handled more efficiently from the computational point of view. So basically, we use this particular method of programming when there are n number of variations to be considered simultaneously. For example, we have already seen different objective functions in linear programming, nonlinear programming, and stochastic programming. Under all the three categories, we had single objective function which was handled by or which was governed by, or the behavior of that objective function was governed by multiple number of decision variables, but we used to consider one variable at a time or one constraint at a time, and we used to take other constraints which are also there as constant. But in practical situations or in real life problems, we always have this particular issue that all the variables are going to act simultaneously, and that is going to cause a combined effect on your objective function or on your decision making process. So whenever you have to carry out any kind of a decision making process, then dynamic programming method needs to be considered as the best possible option, as all the variables act on it simultaneously. Just to take an example of this, if you consider the groundwater condition, okay, or if you consider usually dynamic programming has a clear application related to civil engineering in the specific field of design of water lines, design of sewer network, okay, or design of underground pipe system. Okay, so these are the types, or these are the exact applications under civil engineering. So if we consider design of water distribution network or underground water distribution network, then we have to deal with n number of variables such as the existing geographical conditions, a type of rock, then you have the discharge of water, source of water, location of source of water, distance to which water needs to be transported, type of material that is used for underground networking, that is the material of the pipe, different losses that can be encountered, design of gradient, design of head of water head. If it needs to be lifted at an elevation, then water head is again an important parameter. So if we consider, there are going to be 8 to 10 different parameters which are nothing but the variables. Okay, and these variables are going to be considered simultaneously. It is not the case like we consider one variable at a time and all the variables are neglected. If we do that, we can still go for optimization, but then all the variables need to be considered simultaneously. Reason being, for example, if I consider water head and I design pipe distribution network, then in that case I neglect all the remaining 7-8 variables and I design a particular network. Then I consider the second variable, maybe it is your discharge. It is again a variable. Then I come to know that there needs to be some changes which were done as per the previous variable, which is water head, and so on. So we need to consider all the variables simultaneously to get the optimum design of water distribution network. So moving ahead with the principle, Bellman's principle of optimality. An optimal policy, a sequence of decisions, has the property that whatever the initial state and initial decisions are, the remaining decisions must constitute an optimal policy with regards to the stage resulting from the first decision. Okay, so with the same example, that we have considered or we have discussed right now, if we consider entire optimal policy design of entire network, then the sequence of decisions means what? We are going to arrange the sequence of variables. Maybe the first is water head, second is discharge, third is the pipe material, fourth is the gradient, and so on. So it is not that easy to consider the entire problem. So I divide the problem as per the number of variables, and in each state or in each stage I consider one variable at a time. And accordingly, if I take the first variable as head, as per head, I get one optimum design. Take this design as it is, carry it forward for the second stage, which considers discharge. Then carry forward the combination of 1 plus 2 as optimum design for the third stage, that is maybe your pipe material, and so on. So this will bring the last optimum policy, which gives me the final outcome of this particular problem. Then moving ahead with the next type or the next part. So this principle you need to understand properly as it is, and this is the statement given by Bellman, which tells what is the concept of optimality. Important terms, first is stages. These are the sub-problems obtained from division of the original problem. State variables are the variables whose values specify the conditions of the process for making decision. So state variables will decide whether the solution is optimum or not. These are all the possibilities. Okay, and out of that, whichever is optimum, for minimization, whichever is minimum, will give you the outcome of minimization. For maximization, whichever state variables is maximum, it will give you that particular maximum solution. Then decision variables, these are the unknowns in the given problem. As I've told you, these are the n number of variables that we will consider. Return function, very important concept. It represents the contribution of each stage, and it depends on the nature of the problem. So depending on which stage you are designing or which stage you are analyzing, return function is the contribution up to that stage. So if it is stage number 3, it will be contribution of stage 1 plus stage 2 up to stage 3. If it is stage 5, it will be contribution of stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4 up to stage 5. This is known as return function. Then we move on to the forward and backward solution. If the solution starts from first stage and it reaches the final stage, it is called the forward solution. And if the solution starts from the last stage and goes back to the first stage, then it is called as backward solution. Then this is similar, the forward and backward solution. This is similar to the concept of forward pass method and backward pass method that we have seen in project management. So the concept remains same. Then a recursive relationship, it represents a mathematical expression which connects the optimum solution of previous stages and a return function from the current stage. So up to the 5th stage, for example, we are considering. So return function of previous stages or optimum solutions of previous stages for first 4 stages plus the return function of the 5th stage together is going to give me the optimum solution or total contribution till the 5th stage. So this gives me recursive relationship. There is also one concept of recursive equation, which we will see in the next slide. This is the recursive equation that you see in front of you on the screen. This is the standard form of recursive equation. So Fn, excuse me, Fn star is Rn plus Fn minus 1 star. So here Fn is the optimum value of the current stage. Say again, if I'm doing it for stage 5, then optimum value of stage 5 is the recursive equation or recursive or return function or return variable of that particular stage, that is 5th stage, plus the optimum solution up to the previous stage. Okay, so this is my combination of return function of the current stage plus optimum solution or contribution till the previous stage. Then next is Rn. Rn is the return function or return variable also up to that particular stage, that is the distance traveled in the end stage. This is to be considered if the variable is your distance variable. If it is time taken up to end stage. If it is cost incurred up to end stage. So this variable is going to change depending on what is your objective function. Then Fn minus 1 star, yes, as you all know, it is the optimum distance traveled up to the preceding stage. So whatever optimum solution you generate up to fourth stage, that is Fn minus 1 star. Moving ahead with applications. So for applications, we have direct applications for production engineering problems, scheduling of activities, scheduling of network. We have already seen multiple examples on this. Employment smoothing or resource smoothing also we have seen. So this has direct applications to dynamic programming. Then you have inventory control. So to determine various options, best inventory control, inventory level, reordering level, etc. This part also we have covered in the simulation part of unit 2. So this could be like the same application. Then you have resource allocation. Example is allocating resources to different activities, optimum use of resource in short. Then selection of best possible option from available multiple options, usually known as decision making process. So dynamic programming has a very direct and very obvious application to decision making process, also has direct application to strategic management. So if anyone interested or if anyone is going ahead with management studies as their post graduation option, you might very well learn in detail about dynamic programming under the subject of strategic planning and strategic management. So it is the most important tool that is used for decision making process. Then next is equipment replacement policies. When to replace an equipment, why to replace an equipment, how to replace an equipment, what is the depreciation, what are the losses. All these things get covered in dynamic programming. Next is scheduling method for activities. You know how to schedule activities. We have already done it in project management last year. Systematic planning for major overhauls and complex machinery. Again, planning of resources, planning of machines, complex machineries. Next, working out methodology for profit and revenue maximization, how to maximize the profit. This application directly we are going to learn in the example that we will see subsequently. Second example or the second type we are also going to see is the next application, which is the shortest or minimum route traveled for route optimization. This is quite similar to the critical path method that we have seen in the project planning. Then design of railway routes, yes, shortest route, design of water distribution networks, design of sewer networks, all this has direct applications of dynamic programming. Then preparing a hybrid model as a combination with transportation model, which you have already learned, to find optimum output of variables like time, distance, and cost. Most important three variables which we have already seen throughout the types that we have covered are time, distance, and cost. Okay, most valuable variables we can see. Then we can also prepare a hybrid model as a combination with gradient method, which we have seen in the non-linear programming. So dynamic programming can also combine non-linear programming with linear programming, or non-linear programming with dynamic programming, or stochastic programming with dynamic programming, and so on. So this could also be used as a hybrid model as a combination with gradient method to find optimum output for variables like slopes, lengths, and distribution lines. Moving ahead, we will see type 1 first, which is optimum route problem. It comes under minimization type of dynamic programming. So the problem given to you will be of this particular type. A network, complex network will be given to you, and you have to find the shortest distance from A to K. Now the distances and the network is shown to you. What are the different routes that you are going to see from A to K are shown or quite visible in your network diagram. Similarly, on each arrow, you are able to see these values 6, 4, 2, 4, 5, 6, and so on. These are the distances in kilometers which are to be covered from A to K, and which gives me various options for various routes. So find the shortest path from A to K through the network given in the figure. The travel time, sorry, this is time. It can also be distance, but in this case, it is time in units, or it might be in hours. And it is between A to K. So at stage 1, okay, we are going to see the method of recursive function or recursive relationship. So at stage 1, Fn star is Rn plus Fn minus 1. So now at stage 1, Rn or the return function will be return function for stage 1. Stage 1, going back to the diagram, I'll just show it to you over here. Stage 1 is A. Stage 2 has parallel junctions B, C, D. Stage 3 has another parallel 3 junctions E, F, G. Stage 4 has 3 parallel junctions H, I, J. And stage 5 has single destination, that is K. So we divide the given problem into 5 stages from A to K. Okay, so coming here at stage 1, so Fn star is F1 star. We are talking about stage 1 is a return function of stage 1 plus optimum value of function at 0th stage, because this is stage 1. So the previous stage is 0th stage. So since no stage is prior to the first stage, therefore F0 is 0. That is the distance traveled before A is 0. So at stage 1, that is node B now, R1 is equal to 6. Okay, 6, 4 and 2. Now from A to B we travel, we take 6 hours, A to C we take 4 hours, and A to D we take 2 hours. Okay, so that is given over here. Therefore F1 star is 6 plus 0 equal to 6. Similarly, calculate values in the tabular form. So we'll move on to the next slide, which gives me the table. So optimum distance from A to stage 1. Okay, so A to stage 1 will be A to B, A to C, A to D. That is what is done over here. A to B, A to C, A to D. These are the stages of S1. So node at preceding stage, that is A, is n minus 1. Input to stage node S1 is 6 plus 0. Earlier it was 0. So moving here, before A there is nothing over there. So 6 plus 0, 4 plus 0 and 2 plus 0. So that is what we have written here. Out of this, minimum is 2. So this gives me, and problem is for minimization. We have to carry out minimization of the problem. You have to find the minimum route or the minimum time taken from A to K. So the minimum route or minimum distance is A to D, which takes 2 units of time. Okay, so in table 1 this is clear to us. Table 2 or stage 2, recursive equation, you have to note that you have to write recursive equation for each stage properly. Okay, this carries marks in your exam also. In the marks distribution or in the marking scheme, half a mark or 1 mark is given for your recursive equation. So you have to develop this and write it for each and every stage before you show the calculations. So now we move on to the stage 2. Stage 2 is from B, C, D to E, F, G. Okay, so if you want to refer the diagram from B, C, D to E, F, G, we have 3 by 3, 9 different routes that are going to be there from B, C, D to E, F, G. So one by one we will see. B to E, C to E, D to E, we'll see row wise. B to E was how much? Up to B it is 6. Okay, so 6 value will be as it is. 6 plus 4 is this, B to E. So 6 plus 4. Then B to F is 6 plus 5. And B to G is 6 plus 6. That is what is written over here. Okay, 6 plus 4, 6 plus 5, 6 plus 6. These are the values of 6. I have underlined because this remains constant from my previous stage. Up to B it was 6. Okay, coming to C, similarly for C, up to C it was 4. So 4 plus 5, 4 plus 6 and 4 plus 9. So 4 plus 5, 4 plus 6, 4 plus 9. This is up from C to E, F, G. And then D to E, F, G is how much? Up to D it was 2. So 2 plus 5, 2 plus 7 and 2 plus 8. So D to E, 2 plus 5, D to F, 2 plus 7, D to G is 2 plus 8. These are the distances. Out of this entire distances, which is the minimum in all cases for E, pay attention here all of you, B to E, C to E, D to E, out of these 3 options, which is minimum 7. So this 7 I have written over here. For F, B to F, C to F, D to F, which is minimum 9. So D to F is minimum, which I have written over here. And for G, B to G, C to G and D to G, which is minimum, again D to G is minimum, which is 10. Again out of these 3, which is minimum is 7. So we have to consider minimum of minimum because we are going for minimization type of problem. So 7 is the least value of all, and which gives me which path? A to D we have already traced in the previous stage. So A to D and D to E. So A to D and D to E, we have come up to this particular stage, and this gives me the shortest path up to stage number 2. Moving on with the similar calculation, stage 3, F3 star, a recursive equation will be F3 star is equal to R3 plus F2 star. F2 star is your previous minimum value. Okay, so we are now going to carry out E to H, F to H, G to H, E to I, F to I, G to I, and E to J, F to J, and G to J. Out of this 9 by 9 combination, I will select which is minimum. So similarly, up to E now, in the previous step, up to E, it was 7. So this value I consider over here, 7. So E to H, 7 plus 8, E to I, 7 plus 7, E to J, 7 plus 12. These are my values. For F, your minimum value was 9, which I've taken from the previous table. So F to H, 9 plus 9, F to I, 8 plus 9, F to J, 7 plus 9. Okay. Then similarly, G, my minimum value of G up to G was 10. So in the next table, 10 to 7, 10 to 6, and 10 to 8. So G to H, G to I, G to J gives me these values. And again, row wise we'll consider E to H, F to H, G to H, which is minimum, is E to H. So that minimum value I've written here. For I, which is minimum, E to I, F to I, and G to I, minimum is E to I, which is 13. And up to J, E to J, F to J, G to J, minimum is 16. Out of again all these minimum, which is further minimum upon global minima, global maxima, same concept इथे बघणार आहोत. So which is minimum is 13. So up to 13, what is the path? Previously up to 7 or stage 2, path was A to D, D to E. Same path I am carrying forward, A to D, D to E, and E to now I. Okay, so E to I. So A, D, E, I is my path up to stage 3. Last stage is my last junction up to K from H, I, and J. My recursive function or recursive equation becomes F4 star is equal to R4 plus F3 star. R4 is the return function at 4th stage plus the optimum value till stage 3. So up to stage K, it will be from H to K, I to K, and J to K. So it will be what? From H, and minimum for H is 15, which I carry forward here. So 15 plus 2. For I, minimum is 13. So 13 plus 3. And for J, minimum is 16. So 16 plus 2 is 18. Again, out of this, which is minimum? Minimum is 16. 16 unit of time or 16 unit of distance. So up to A to K, minimum distance is 16 hours, or a time is 16 hours, or distance is 16 kilometers. And path is what? Up to previous stage, I had reached A, D, E, I. In this case, A, D, E, I and final junction K. So my minimum path, we'll move on to the summary table. So my minimum path or the shortest distance between start to destination is 16 units. And optimum route between A to K is given by A, D, E, I, and K. So this is my summary table. These are my stages 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, this could be stated as backward pass method. Up till this it was forward pass method. In this stage, you can see it is backward pass method. Last stage was I to K, then EIK, DEIK, and ADEIK. These are my values. F4 star was 16. F3 star was 13 up to I. F3 star was 13. F2 star was 7 up to E. F2 star was 7. F1 star was 2 up to D. F1 star was 2 and F0 star was 0 up to A. So this gives me a table which is my summary table, or which is my final table, which gives me the exact idea from first stage to last stage what is happening. And I have broken down the problem into stages as per the principle of optimality or Bellman's principle of optimality. Into 4 stages I have divided my given shortest route problem. So this is a standard minimization problem using the concept of dynamic programming and the concept of recursive function, recursive equation following Bellman's principle of optimality. So if you consider any kind of a minimization problem, as I've told you, variables could be in terms of distance, it could be in terms of cost, or it could be time. So in all the cases, if it comes for minimization, you have to work for minimization of each stage and cumulative contribution of each stage up to the last stage. Okay, we are not dividing the problem stage wise for different optimality. We are carrying forward optimality of the previous stage every time till we reach the final stage. And this gives me the entire optimum solution stage wise also, and entire optimum solution cumulatively up to the last stage. Okay, so this is the concept of minimization. In the next lecture, we will see what is the concept of maximization. Thank you.